Hi everyone, this is Dr. Chhoda and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. A lot of interesting things have happened as far as the country, as far as the economy, and as far as your money are concerned in the past 24 hours. There's been a lot of really quick progress on the stimulus package. But in this video, I wanted to sort of zoom out and look at the big picture and give you folks an idea of what to expect going forward. In my opinion, there are two likely stimulus scenarios going forward. There are two stimulus scenarios. Before I go forward, let me just ask you to please click the like button, please subscribe, please enable notifications if you learn something new from our channel. My name is Dr. Chhoda. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. The Ignition channel is about the country, it's about the economy, and it's about money. It's about, at the end of the day, money in your pocket. Let's just jump right in. I believe there are two stimulus scenarios. The first scenario involves medium stimulus right now. I would imagine, now by the way, for me, medium stimulus is right in the $1 trillion range. So again, there are two scenarios. Scenario one involves medium stimulus right now, right around $1 trillion. Let's just call it moderate stimulus. Scenario one also involves a big government funding bill. Yep. A big government funding bill, which means that there would be a 12-month extension in government funding from the 11th of December all the way this year, 2020, all the way through the 11th of December, 2021. Also, this would make future stimulus unlikely. And then you see a little note there because this depends on the Senate runoff races in the state of Georgia. If both those seats go to the Democrats, then there is a possibility that we could see a huge stimulus next year after January, sometime in February. So that is likely. Scenario two now, on the other hand, is a different scenario. We could see either no stimulus now or a very small stimulus now. By my definition of a small stimulus is something that's right around the $500 billion range, which by the way is what's been proposed by the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. We would see a stopgap funding bill. In other words, if the two sides simply can't come to an agreement, they would do something temporary. In other words, they would kick the can down the road, and a stopgap funding bill would be right up until March 2021. And this potentially could be good news, could be a good sign for the Biden administration. And I'll tell you why. I'll get to that in just a second. And in this case, also future stimulus, I would say in this case, future stimulus is probably a little more likely because it'll be even more necessary. But again, it will still depend on the state of the Georgia Senate runoff races. Let's quickly stack up scenario one and scenario two side by side for you and show you both these scenarios one more time. Scenario one could include medium stimulus. Now keep in mind the $900 billion bipartisan Senate plan that has been proposed, which by the way, apparently is now getting some traction from many senators on both sides of the aisle. Lindsey Graham said he supports it. Many senators have said that they support it. Lindsey Graham said that he thought the president would also support it as long as it was fully fleshed out. I did report that in a video earlier on our channel. Also, and by the way, this is really important, the Problem Solvers Caucus, in fact, the co-chair of the Problem Solvers Caucus, Tom Reed, specifically said that the president supported the $908 billion stimulus bill. Let's roll the tape and you can see for yourself what the co-chair of the Problem Solvers Caucus, Tom Reed, said as recently as today. Let's watch.
The president just issued a statement saying he is in support of our $900+ billion package. So we are now...
Come on.
Well, Lindsey, we're gonna declare a moment of optimism here in front of the Capitol. But the bottom line is, with that support, that there's recognition that this is a package that needs to get signed into law, that the American people need this relief, and that these members are standing together as Democrats and as Republicans, but as we opened up with, as proud Americans. It is time for this institution to do its job. And as we said, we are not leaving until that signature is on this package and that relief is flowing. And it's because of the members that are standing here before you as true American leaders.
Now, you saw that, but I do want to point out that there's a little bit of ambiguity emerging from the White House. This is a tweet on your screen from Jeff Steinova at the Washington Post, and Jeff reported that in his remarks today, the president was backing the much narrower McConnell stimulus plan, which, keep in mind, is about $500 billion, not the $908 billion bipartisan compromise struck by Senate Republicans and Democrats, as per a White House spokesman. Now, again, let's wait and see what happens. There is some ambiguity emerging from the White House, and we still have to see whether the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell will support this. Speaking of Jeff Stein, here's another tweet on your screen from Jeff Stein, which gives us some important news about the $908 billion stimulus package, which seems to be gathering more and more traction as we speak. Two critical points from Mark Warner, the Democrat Mark Warner, who was one of the individuals essentially pushing this along with the Problem Solvers Caucus. He reported this to Heather Long from the Washington Post. The bipartisan agreement will extend PUA benefits. So we'll know more as we get more definitive news, and also the retroactivity of the $300 a week federal booster. At this moment, we know that this proposal contains a $300 a week booster from the 1st of December up until March. It's going to last for 4 months. However, making it more retroactive, in other words, making it retroactive for August, September, October, November, that is something that is still being debated, but at minimum, it will be from December 1st. In other words, it may go further behind than that. It may be more retroactive than that, but this affects millions and millions of people. And also, Jeff Stein reported that we have heard from multiple sources that Democrats in the bipartisan group are making a push for unemployment benefits to be retroactive through October and November, but this effort may not succeed. So that's the latest information as far as retroactive benefits are concerned. Now, let's get back to the two scenarios as far as stimulus are concerned, and let's go back to the comparison of those two scenarios. Scenario one, again, medium stimulus now. We're talking about the bipartisan plan from the group of senators, Democrats and Republicans. We're likely to see big government funding, in other words, a proper government funding extension, which is something they normally do, unless they're so gridlocked like they are now. And future stimulus may not be likely. Now, let's compare that with scenario two, where we are likely to see no stimulus now, or a very small stimulus now, if everything falls apart. Okay, if everything falls apart, let's hope it doesn't, because at the end of the day, there still has to be a bill that becomes signed, that gets signed, that goes to the House and the Senate, and that gets signed by the president into law. We still are waiting for that to happen. So in scenario two, let's say, gosh, let's hope that doesn't happen. I just want to be clear. No stimulus or very small stimulus now. Let's say a $500 billion stimulus, which honestly, I think is very small. And then in scenario two, we see a stopgap government funding. So there's only funding for 3 or 4 months up until March 2021. Now, this will actually create a new threshold, a new deadline, a new cliff, if you will, for there to be another stimulus in March of next year, which actually could be a political advantage, if you will, for the Biden administration. And in scenario two, I would say future stimulus is more likely, but whether future stimulus happens or not depends in large part with what happens, I believe, in the Georgia Senate runoff races. Because if the Democrats regain control of the Senate, then future stimulus is all but assured. In fact, let's show you a tweet on your screen from Mike DeBonis. And Mike DeBonis covers Congress for the Washington Post. And here's what Mike DeBonis said. He said, and by the way, he was responding to something that Jake Sherman said from Politico. Let's first see what Jake said. Jake said, nearly every source I've spoken to since this morning say they feel better about getting a targeted COVID relief bill than an omnibus spending deal. In other words, everyone's happy and relieved, lawmakers, that there is stimulus, or there's likely to be stimulus. That's more important than simply continuing to fund the government. Now, here's something interesting. There is a small possibility, by the way, this is where scenario two comes in, that there's a small COVID deal and then a stopgap spending bill until March. This is scenario two. Let's go back to scenario one and scenario two. You see them on your screen right now. Okay. So scenario one and scenario two, as you see. Now let's shift gears and go back to the tweet from Mike DeBonis. And Mike said this is almost the best case scenario for Biden and the Democrats, because a March continuing resolution, in other words, continuing to fund the government, not for 12 months, but only for 3 or 4 months up until March, gives a new cliff, a new threshold, a new deadline, a new incentive to start more relief talks for more stimulus. Now, I think that, in my opinion, the best thing to do would be to try and do the $1 trillion stimulus now, the $900 billion stimulus, get the money out to people as quickly as possible. People need help now. Those who need help the most need help now. Our system should be designed to help those who need it the most. Individuals in travel, leisure, entertainment, hospitality are impacted. I do believe states need help, because local schools, our first responders, They need help. And I've mentioned this before. For me, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American. I think that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on this side, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell on this side, and the President Trump right there, should finally come together. I think the best solution would be some sort of a combination of both scenario 1 and scenario 2, where there is some stimulus now, where government, the government funding extends until next year, so that, we don't have to go back and forth again. And then hopefully in February or March, they can come back and decide if more stimulus is necessary. Hopefully the two sides can come together. But one thing is for sure, the urgency that we are seeing right now in the past 24 to 48 hours, I doubt we'll see this urgency again. So I do believe that something has to happen now, and I'm quite confident something indeed will happen now. Let me know what you think of the two scenarios in the comment section below. You'll find a link to all of our resources in the description section below. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. If you learned something new from this video, please consider clicking the like button. Please subscribe and please enable notifications. The name of our channel is Ignition Time. If you don't know anything about me, check out my video. You'll learn a little bit more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. I have to tell you, I have the honor, the privilege, the fortune of living the American dream. I want to be very clear on our channel. It's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American first, as we all are. Remember, you can get on our SMS list. Just get your cell phone out. Send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000, that's 70000. You'll get added to SMS alerts list. You'll get breaking news and alerts if we release any programs, and if you're interested in those programs, you'll be notified if you're on the list. Also, you can get added to our email list. Simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts, and you can get added to our email list. You can opt out of the email list or the SMS list at any point in time that you want. No worries about that. So please make sure you get on either list. Now, keep in mind that we release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. East Coast time. Sometimes YouTube does not send out notifications on time. So all you have to do is simply bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. This way, you can visit the home page of our channel and you can then watch any video at any point in time that you want without having to be dependent on YouTube notifications. So you may want to do that. Speaking of notifications, follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. Follow us on Instagram for exclusive content specifically for our Instagram followers. You can also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. You'll get breaking news and alerts from us on Twitter. If you learned something new from this video, once again, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications, because that would mean a lot to us. That is your vote of confidence in us, and that tells the YouTube algorithm that you found the video beneficial. Please share this video with friends and family. You know that we don't believe in hype. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, is not about false hope. It's not about hype. I have a lot of respect for our viewers and subscribers. I know you can handle the truth. I give you the truth. I'm not going to string you along or essentially give you any false hope. I'm going to let you know what is important as far as the country is concerned, as far as the economy is concerned, and as far as your money is concerned, because what's going on in the country affects the economy, and what's going on in the economy affects your personal finances, your wallet. So make sure that you subscribe to our channel. And finally, please comment below. Our community is growing. It's very intelligent. It's very bipartisan. You'll probably make some new friends in the community. We are highly respectful. Make sure to become a part of our community. And also, you'll find a link to all of our resources in the description section below. That's one thing that is a standard in our channel. We'll always provide you with a link to all our resources so you can check them out for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.